Hello. I'm making this video because I want to show you the glory of the power cords that I rely on to power my cell phone and my headphones that only half work. One earbud doesn't even work. I don't know why I don't just cut it. Maybe I will. And the back cover of the book, What to Do, it's really The Emotional Incest Syndrome. What to Do When a Parent's Love Rules Your Life. Everything, everywhere, happens for a reason. Everything. There's a rhyme and a reason to everything, and art is everywhere. Paul McCartney has passed from the earth and now lives in the spirit world. The band The Beatles was a tool that the Tavistock Institute used to engineer society. The nice young men from Manchester, England, who took the world by storm, was presented in contrast to the not-so-nice young men, the Rolling Stones. And given the choice, many gravitated towards the Beatles, not knowing that as the Beatles fell into drugs and helped to form the counterculture and, free love, that in choosing this band that would fall from grace, they slowly lost their hold on the truths of existence, the truth that there is a God, the truth that a human being, a man or a woman, can stand in their own power and attract good into their lives, that you can commit a loving act and you are rewarded, that all you really have to do in life is trust your Creator and do good. Be perfect as your Heavenly Parent is perfect. Paul McCartney was replaced with a Freemason who was groomed for the job. You can see the difference in the facial structure. A lot of latex was used, some plastic surgery, and they created a new Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney was, as far as people could tell, beheaded in a traffic accident in the 1960s, or somewhere around there. Paul McCartney passed to the spirit world. The man who replaced him was placed in the leadership role of this band, and although people speculated about it, no one knew for sure, and that's part of the trickery. That's part of the usurpation. You present information and you present a counter to that information that acts to confuse you. And in your confusion, you are manipulated. So, the Freemasons are up to no good. You know, many people say that the people on the lower levels of the Freemason aren't such bad people. They don't know what they're doing. There's one problem with that. And although I agree with that to a large degree, the making of an oath to a group of people, and even if it seems like a joke, saying that I will never divulge the secrets of this organization, making an oath to anyone that should you break that oath, harm will befall yourself or others, is sinful. In fact, joining an organization that revels in secrecy is sinful. Why would you be attracted to such an organization? Why would you be wowed and moved by ridiculous symbology? If you want symbols, look to the world around you. Look to the symbols inherent in your physical form. Look to the form of nature, the form of animals, trees, birds. Look to the physical laws that God has created and what they represent. These people in Freemasonry have it as their core belief that we exist in duality. We do not exist in duality. That is ridiculous. It is a ridiculous notion to suggest that we exist in duality. The only duality that exists is one that we've created for ourselves. The only duality that exists in false creation, which is not of God. You look at your body, you look at your physical form, it works. You look at how you take an action to move forward in a direction, and you attract good things unto yourself. You attract success. Look at the birds and the mammals and the reptiles and the sky and the atmosphere and the water in the air, water vapor, and rain and lightning storms, and the food chain, and the plentiful abundance that is all around. There is nothing dual about that. A lot of people will say, well, you have men and women, they're opposites. How are they opposites? How is a woman opposite to a man? God created human beings and gave them the gift of love and a way to express their love physically. That way is the sex act. The sex act is a beautiful act. It's a beautiful expression of love. There's nothing dual about it. There's nothing opposing about it. There's nothing opposite about it. It's not opposite. It works together. As it happens, God also made homosexual souls who still can enjoy lovemaking. They do it in a different way. Woman to woman, man to man. But it's still of God. And when you achieve higher levels, you will see that their love is just as real as the bond in the heterosexual soul. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. But at some point you will see the truth. But there's nothing opposite in this universe that God created. God is a loving being. God is our loving parent. God loves us and desires our enrichment and knows that the best way that we can be enriched is by our own free will choice. God made it that way. The only opposition we find is our own resistance to the truth, our own desire not to act. The forces that may be in any form, in any capacity, that you may deem holds you from greater joy, greater fortune, untold vistas of surprise and excitement and fascination. All those forces have no power over you. They have zero power over you. You, as a soul, have agency. The only power that anyone has over you is the power that you give them. It's a simple idea. There are people who have decided that it is best to form an organization that might provide themselves with some means of exerting a more permanent I'm looking for my word here, a more permanent hold on the world. And their means and methods are flawed because what is not loving is always a flawed course. Although they have some power, it's only due to the power that human beings, every man and woman in the world, gives to them. And they also have the power that spirits in the spirit world who have passed on, whose interests remain on the earth, to their own detriment, I might add. But they have the assistance of these dark spirits who have yet to come to the truth, who have yet to desire the beautiful, life-giving love of God, who have yet to realize that God can be their only master. They have decided to assist these wrongdoers. And it is to your detriment to assume that there is no spirit world, there is no life after death. Atheism is your only recourse. It is to your detriment that you would accept such nonsense. The spirit world is real. Spirit influence is real. And it matters. So that's really all I have to say in this video. I hope you've enjoyed.